We'll play first. Not a banned hand here. Gives the opportunity to kind of turn out a little here. We can go turn 1 Soul Scars, turn 2 Pyromancer, turn 3 whatever we draw, hopefully land, and then for removal spells or whatever we need, plus hazard it. Overall, I kind of like this hand. We'll keep it. Balding Puma. Funny name. Kind of like it. Opponent decides to mulligan here. Pretty good odds for us still. Mulligan to 5. Alright. We will go Soul Scar Mage here. And we'll pass the turn. Don't know if it's flash or not. I'm a little nervous. I'd rather just kind of swing first. So that way if they do have a blocker, we can shock. It could be flash. Doesn't look like flash. Unsummon maybe? Nope. Alright, here comes our layup the stage. I prefer this over the Pyromancer just so next turn we can play Pyromancer and removal. And if you look at that, we're going to be able to play Pyromancer into another light up the stage next turn. Let's get a Lavamancer out there. Alright, looks like mono blue played, or it could be the flash deck with Brisbane Cutthroat. Nope. Interesting. Awesome. So we're going to want to kind of play from hand here a little bit more. Because we do want that Hazoret. Shock here isn't the worst. Yeah, personally I feel like shocking into light at the stage, kind of saving the Hazoret, is going to be ideal in this situation. We'll cast the shock now. Reason why we cast the shock now is we'll have 2 cards in the graveyard for a Grim Lavamancer if needed. They're kind of heavily relying on it. It doesn't matter. We're going to decline that. We still get the Prowess trigger. And like I said, we do have removal for the Spectral Sailor, so they honestly just burned a card from their hand on a spell that's... We're still going to be able to kill this. Oh, Pharastodon's awesome. Target here, like I said, auto pay. We're going to have the mana to pay both next turn. Get rid of the light that stays in the shock. Quick concession from our opponent. Alright, we know they're on mono blue. Looks like it was a little bit more 1-1 focused. Hazard, it seems a little bit slower here. I'd rather get the Chain Whirler out since we saw the 1-1. I'd also like to get the Abrades in there instead of the Skewers. We'll take one more Chain Whirler. Actually, keep it at 2. We'll play 1 Hazard. And we'll submit. So I've learned Goblin Rune Blaster is insanely good right now for the field matchup. I've been very, very successful with that. Being able to turn it off, Field the Dead, when they only have 1 or 2 zombies out is just super, super good on the play or even on the draw. Great card. I'm wondering if there's better land destruction choices out there. I'm definitely going to have to look around and see what I can think of. But right now, I personally really, really like it a ton. I do think this deck does need maybe 1 or 2 more Rampaging Pharastodons and a way to deal with the graveyard. Whether that be adding 1 more, taking out the Experimental Frenzies for a Grafdigger's Cage, or removing one of the hazards for 1. There's just needs to be one to deal with Rakdos aggro. Lots of removal. Honestly, don't have a problem with this hand. Looks fine to me. If we keep them off their creatures, it could work. Opponent takes a mulligan. That's a pretty easy keep for us. Other way to look at this too is we got 9 points worth of damage in hand and a removal spell if we decide just to go to the head, which would be 9. And then considering each one's off a Soul Scar, saying they don't play any creatures, which is highly unlikely. But that's just hypothetical. So we'll keep the Soul Scar Mage. See that removal. The Drake. Nice. We do not have a way to get rid of that, unfortunately. As it does have protection from red. We're going to say no attacks here, and we'll pass. Forcing an attack. Okay. We will just... No blocks. Still didn't feel comfortable, as you can tell there, at the end of just going with a just throwing it at the face. Since this turn we will have a Wizard's Lightning at the face if we need to. If they're willing to counter this, that's fine. I'm a bit confused by that play, but we'll deal 2 to them and we'll just play it now. Like I said, we're sitting on a ton of points of damage in hand. When it comes time, we'll have it. Oh. To do again the +1/+1. It's a turn short here. But I'd rather just kind of start going in. See if they got anything they want to flash in here. Cool. They wanted to throw their counter out there. That's great because now we're just going to send a bunch upstairs. I mean, sure, we're taking damage, but all they are having to deal damage with is the Cerulean Drake right now. If we get land next turn, we have Goblin Chain Whirler and a Braid. It'd be nice if we can get Burn Spell off the top too. Land also opens the door up for Ramunap Ruins. Alright, they have a 3/3. Nice. We'll put it out. See if they want to counter it. Nope. In for 3. Interesting they cast an Opt here. They're willing to go to damage. It's mind-boggling to me. I'm willing to bet they're sitting on a counter. I'd rather get rid of it now and just be able to deal 1 to them, so that way if they don't have a counter spell, we're able just to deal 1 and have possibly a land to win it. We'll find out. Yep. We knew they were holding on to that. Looks like they're going to have to leave back the Drake here to block if they don't have answers. Going for the fences. Luckily, he's going to definitely have some outs here. Oh, just a full hand of spells. Because he's tapped out, we are going to make him counter here. And he could have Spectral Sailor. He doesn't. What else is our opponent sitting on here? Brazen Borrower would do the trick, I believe. Now he does not have the mana to cast a Brazen Borrower there for the win. Potentially. We will decline this just because we want the chance to hit a land for a win. Comes down to this top deck. What do we get? So we're just going to force them to have a lot of removal here. Oh, double Aether Gust. Oh, that's nasty. Like I said, we needed land there. We did not get it. Nice from our opponent. Close one. Just couldn't get there. We'll concede. So close. Again, we have to have a way to deal with the Cerulean. I have now determined that just having the Goblin out is just what we need. Early removal is super important as well. So we'll kind of see what happens. Because remember, there's Storm Chaser, Drake. I'm trying to think what else. Spectral Sailor. This is kind of just similar to the mono blue deck that Autumn Burchett played to win the first Mythic Invitational. Very similar list. Reed Duke was on the same list as well. But yeah, we'll keep it running. Play first. I like this. Lots of removal. Only fear, of course, is the Cerulean Drake. So we'll see what we're able to do. And there goes our fear. We can deal with a Spectral Sailor. No attacks here. I am sorry to our opponent, but I do need to do this here. It's going to deal 1 to each of their creatures and 1 to them. I know this Cerulean Drake does get protection, but just kind of gets rid of the board as is. No attacks. He's going to have to start dealing with a pretty big board state. We know he has a counterspell up, ready to go. So in this case, we are willing to sacrifice the Pyromancer to see if we can get in with the Goblin. Yep, next to first strike damage. We'll see what counterspell he has here. Look like he has any. Could have a Spell Pierce is my best guess. Spectral Sailor, okay. And a negate. Yep. Good news now is that we have cards in the graveyard. We're going to be able to start pumping up some boys and getting in. We are going to take care of that Spectral Sailor. Here's the Soulscar Mage. We will tap here. Target the Spectral Sailor. Submit these two. Next to combat, we will get in there for 3. He's going to block 1 because he can. 3 gets through. Nice thing here is we do have a Braid for next turn. Assuming they play a creature. No guarantees. And that is a concession from our opponent. Looks like they just didn't have anything to deal with the board state we had out. Great win. Pretty happy with that.